In a remote valley, nestled far from the bustle of the world, there lay a small village perpetually cloaked in thick fog and soft, unrelenting rain. The sky above seemed to wear a permanent shroud of gray, as if the sun were merely a tale whispered in forgotten bedtime stories. The children of the village had long since stopped expecting sunlight. Their clothes were eternally damp, clinging to their skin with a chill that seeped into their bones. Even the simple joy of playing in the mud, once a source of endless delight, had been dulled by the ceaseless patter of cold raindrops. The village's cobblestone paths, slick with moisture, wound through rows of modest houses, their roofs glistening under the weight of endless drizzle. The villagers, accustomed to this dreary existence, moved silently through their days, umbrellas tilted against the mist, their heavy cloaks wrapped tightly around them. Their faces bore no overt sorrow, but true smiles were rare, for the memory of sunlight had faded into something distant, like a dream that slips away upon waking. In a quiet corner of this village stood a small handicraft shop, its wooden sign creaking faintly in the damp breeze. The shop was unassuming, yet it radiated a warmth that seemed to defy the gloom outside. Inside, wooden racks lined the walls, adorned with rows of sunny dolls, each meticulously crafted from soft white fabric. These dolls had round heads and limp, dangling bodies, their faces painted with simple, heartfelt smiles. Their eyes, mere black ink dots, held an inexplicable spark, as if they could see the world and dream of brighter days. These sunny dolls were the village's only bursts of color, hanging like silent promises that one day, the sun might return to this forgotten place. Among all the sunny dolls, one stood out as particularly special. His name was Little Sunny, and he was the 100th doll crafted by the shop's owner, an elderly woman with silver hair and gentle eyes. Her hands, weathered by time, were still nimble when she picked up her needle and thread, sewing each doll with care and love. When she finished Little Sunny, she held him up, her fingers tracing the curve of his painted smile. With a soft chuckle, she said, "You're the 100th, so you must be special. I'll call you Little Sunny." She hung him by the shop's entrance, near an old wooden window, where he could watch the raindrops slide from the eaves in a steady, rhythmic drip. Little Sunny gazed out at the misty streets, listening to the endless patter of rain, his heart, though made of cotton, brimming with curiosity. As a sunny doll, he knew his purpose was to bring clear skies to those who needed them, but he had never seen true sunlight. He could only imagine what it felt like, piecing together fragments of dreams. Sunlight must be warm, like the old woman's hands. It must be bright, like the glint of dew on a leaf. It must be gentle, like the rare laughter of the village children. These imaginings filled Little Sunny with longing, but also with a quiet frustration, for he was just a doll made of cloth, hanging helplessly by the door, unable to change the world outside. Days passed, blending into weeks, then months, and the rain never ceased. The village grew quieter, the children's spirits dampened by the endless gray. Their games grew listless, their laughter faint, as if the rain had washed away their energy. Even the handicraft shop saw fewer visitors, for who would buy a sunny doll in a place where the sun was a myth? Little Sunny watched it all, his painted smile unwavering, but his heart heavy with a growing sense of unease. He wanted to do something, to bring light to this place, but he felt powerless, tethered to his spot by the window. Then, one day, a small figure pushed open the shop's door, bringing with her a breath of fresh air. It was a little girl named Lulu, her round eyes sparkling with a brightness that seemed untouched by the village's gloom. Her hair, soaked from the rain, clung to her forehead, and her blue cloak, faded and speckled with mud, dripped onto the wooden floor. She stood at the entrance, her gaze sweeping over the rows of Sunny dolls, until it settled on little Sunny. Pointing at him, her voice clear and bright, she said, "Grandma, I want this doll." His smile is the most sincere. The old woman looked up, a flicker of surprise in her eyes, followed by a warm smile. She shuffled over, carefully unhooking little Sunny from his place and placing him in Lulu's small hands. "Good choice," she said softly. "Little Sunny is special. Take good care of him." Lulu clutched little Sunny tightly, her face glowing with joy as she ran home through the rain. For little Sunny, this was a moment of wonder, the first time he had left the shop, the first time he had ventured into the misty, rain-soaked world beyond. Though he was just a doll, his heart seemed to beat faster, as if alive with excitement. He took in the sights around him, the gray sky, the slick streets, and Lulu's radiant eyes, which seemed to hold a light all their own. When they reached her home, Lulu hung little Sunny by her bedroom window, a small wooden frame that looked out onto the unchanging rain. Each day, she would talk to him, her voice bubbling with stories. She told him about school, where her teacher shared a tale of a rainbow that stretched across the sky, or how her classmates played hide-and-seek in the classroom during a particularly heavy downpour. She spoke of her dreams, of running through golden fields under a vast blue sky, the sun warming her face like a loving embrace. Lulu's smile as she spoke was infectious, filling little Sunny with a warmth he had never known. He began to feel that he was more than just a doll of cloth and cotton. He was Lulu's friend, her confidant, and he wanted to protect the hope that shone in her eyes, yet the rain continued to fall, the fog refusing to lift. Each morning, Lulu would rush to the window, pulling back the curtains with anticipation, hoping to see a glimpse of sunlight. But every time, she was met with the same gray sky and endless drizzle. She never complained, only gently wiped the stray raindrops from little Sunny's fabric, smiling as she said, "It's okay, little Sunny. Tomorrow will be sunny, I know it." Her optimism warmed him, but it also stirred a quiet ache in his heart. He was a sunny doll, meant to bring clear skies, yet he had failed to deliver even a single ray of light. The weight of that failure grew heavier with each passing day, and little Sunny began to dream of doing more than just hanging by the window, listening to Lulu's stories. He wanted to make her dreams come true, to let her feel the warmth of the sun she so vividly described. One night, as Lulu slept soundly and the village was cloaked in silence save for the soft patter of rain on rooftops, little Sunny felt a strange stirring within him. Hanging by the window, he gazed out at the dark, misty world, and a faint glow flickered across his painted face, like a spark from some hidden magic. He didn't know what it was, but a soft voice seemed to whisper in his heart, "Find the sun." The voice was faint yet resolute, igniting a fire within him. Little Sunny looked at his fabric body, then at Lulu's peaceful sleeping face, and he knew he could no longer simply wait. With a gentle twitch, as if guided by an unseen force, he slid from his hook, his soft body drifting to the floor. His tiny steps were hesitant but determined as he pushed open the door and stepped into the wet, foggy night, embarking on a journey unlike any a Sunny doll had ever undertaken. Little Sunny's adventure began under the cover of darkness, his small form navigating the village's slick cobblestone streets. Raindrops fell on his fabric, but they didn't soak through. It was as if the fire in his heart shielded him from the damp. The streets were empty, the faint glow of lanterns casting eerie shadows through the mist. Little Sunny moved carefully, avoiding puddles, his painted eyes fixed on the path ahead. His destination was the mountain beyond the village, a towering presence rumored to hide a place called the Land of Clear Skies on its far side, where the sun shone every day and a great spirit known as Grandpa's Sun resided. Little Sunny didn't know if a cloth doll could truly find the sun, but for Lulu's sake, he had to at the edge of the village. He entered a whispering forest, where ancient trees loomed tall, their leaves rustling in the rain like voices sharing secrets. As he ventured deeper, a small voice called out, "Meow, who are you? Why are you wandering in the rain?" Looking down, little Sunny saw a tiny black cat perched on a tree root, its yellow eyes glowing in the dark. "I'm little Sunny, a sunny doll," he replied politely. "I'm going to the other side of the mountain to find Grandpa's Sun and ask him to bring sunlight to my friend Lulu." The cat tilted its head, as if hearing a fantastical tale. "You? A cloth doll looking for the sun? That's quite a story. But I like your spirit. Come on, follow me. I'll take you through the forest." Little Sunny nodded gratefully, following the cat, who introduced itself as Little Black. "I never sleep at night," Little Black said, leaping from root to root. "I like roaming in the rain. You're the first sunny doll I've seen walking around." Little Sunny smiled, saying, "I didn't know I could walk either, but for Lulu, I'll do anything." Little Black led him to the forest's edge, pointing to the shadowy outline of the mountain in the distance. "That's where you're headed. Be careful, the path isn't easy." Thanking Little Black, Little Sunny pressed on. Next, he reached a misty pond, where the fog was so thick he could barely see the path. As he tiptoed along the water's edge, a deep voice croaked, "Rip-bit, Rip-bit, little cloth doll, where are you going?" Turning, Little Sunny saw a frog perched on a lily pad, its body glowing faintly, as if touched by magic. "I'm Little Sunny," he said. "I'm going to the mountain to find Grandpa's Sun and ask him to bring sunlight to my village." The frog laughed heartily. "A cloth doll seeking the sun? That's bold. The sun's far away, and this misty forest is tricky. Are you sure you want to go on?" Little Sunny nodded firmly. "I want to bring sunlight to Lulu. She waits for clear skies every day with a smile. I can't let her down." The frog, calling itself Frog Gentleman, studied Little Sunny's earnest expression and nodded. "You've got a brave heart. I'm the guardian of this pond. Follow me, I'll guide you through the misty forest." Frog Gentleman hopped off the lily pad, leading Little Sunny into the dense, foggy woods. The air was cold and heavy, strange whispers echoing among the trees, but Little Sunny followed closely, his heart burning brighter with each step. After what felt like hours, the fog began to thin, and a faint light pierced through the treetops. It was the first light of dawn, a soft, golden glow that seemed to wrap the world in a delicate sheen. Little Sunny stopped, awestruck, as the light touched his fabric body. He felt a warmth spread through him, and his cloth began to glow faintly, as if absorbing the dawn's energy. This was his first encounter with light, and it filled him with a strange, vibrant power. Frog Gentleman smiled. "That's the dawn, the sun's messenger. You're closer to your goal now. Keep going, the mountain's ahead." Little Sunny thanked him and continued his journey. The mountain loomed before him, its rocky paths slippery with rain. Little Sunny climbed, his light body somehow steady despite the treacherous terrain. The wind howled, and the fog thickened, but he pressed on, driven by the thought of Lulu's hopeful smile. Halfway up, he heard a sound like tinkling bells mixed with the rush of a stream. Following it, he found a group of tiny wind spirits floating in the air, their bodies shimmering with rainbow hues. They held delicate instruments, playing a melody that seemed to dance with the breeze. The lead spirit noticed little Sunny and asked, "What are you, little one, climbing this mountain?" Little Sunny explained, "I'm little Sunny, a sunny doll. I'm going to find Grandpa Sun to bring sunlight to my village." The spirits giggled, their voices like chimes. A cloth doll meeting the sun? That's a grand dream. But the lead spirit, moved by his sincerity, said, "Your heart shines with a special light. Let us play you a song of clear skies." The wind spirits played a vibrant, warm melody, the notes falling like sunlight on little Sunny's fabric. His body glowed brighter, as if the music had infused him with new life. Thanking them, he climbed higher, the fog thinning as he neared the peak. At last, he reached the summit, and the world opened before him. There, standing in a sea of golden clouds, was Grandpa Sun, a radiant giant whose body seemed woven from pure light. His presence was overwhelming, yet warm and kind. Little Sunny looked up, awestruck, and said, "Grandpa Sun, I'm little Sunny, a sunny doll. I've come to ask you to bring sunlight to my village, for Lulu and the children." Grandpa Sun's eyes twinkled with a gentle smile. "Little Sunny, I've watched you from afar. You're a special doll, filled with courage and hope. The power to banish the gloom doesn't come from me, it comes from your heart. Your journey has given you the power of clear skies. Believe in yourself, and your smile will change the heavens." Little Sunny hesitated, looking at his simple cloth body. "Me? I'm just a doll. How can I change the sky?" Grandpa Sun chuckled. "You've already begun. You've crossed forests, climbed mountains, met the dawn, and heard the wind's song. Go back, and take your light to the village." With a gentle breath, Grandpa Sun sent a golden beam that carried little Sunny back to Lulu's window. When Lulu woke, she rushed to the window as always, pulling back the curtains. Her eyes widened in disbelief. The gray fog was gone, replaced by a brilliant blue sky, sunlight streaming into her room, warm and golden. "It's sunny. It's really sunny," she cried, hugging little Sunny tightly. His painted smile seemed brighter than ever, his fabric faintly glowing. From that day, the village was no longer trapped in endless rain. Though showers came, they were followed by sunlight, and the children ran through the fields, jumping rope, kicking balls, and singing under the open sky. Little Sunny remained by Lulu's window, watching over her, his smile a beacon of hope. He knew that as long as hope lived in the heart, the sun would always shine. The story of little Sunny spread through the village, becoming a legend among the children. The handicraft shop grew busy again, as villagers came to buy Sunny dolls, hoping to capture a piece of that magic. Little Sunny, though just a doll, became a symbol of the village's renewal, a guardian of hope. Whenever rain fell, Lulu would hold him close, whispering, "It's okay, tomorrow will be sunny." And in his heart, little Sunny would reply, "Yes, Lulu, as long as there's hope, the sun will always come." This tale lived on in the village, told to children as they drifted to sleep. When asked about little Sunny's secret, the old woman would only smile, her hands gently crafting new dolls. "Every doll has a heart," she'd say. "Believe in it, and it will bring miracles." And little Sunny, hanging by Lulu's window, watched as the village's skies grew ever brighter, his journey complete but his light eternal, a reminder that hope always leads to sunlight. Do you still like today's story? If you like, please remember to subscribe to this channel and click the like icon. You can receive notifications and hear the latest stories as soon as possible. Good night, my baby.